Then, same. I'm Oskars. I've been working with GIS systems for about 10 years. Mainly I work with JavaScript, but also I work with lots of other stuff, let's say from beginning of performance testing and ending with some weird printing scripts. Today I'm going to talk about AppStudio, give a little bit of introduction in it, and we're going to start with some existential questions. For example, who are you? Maybe you are a GIS professional, you are a GIS user who has technical skills, you know how to create web maps, you have used Web App Builder. Maybe you can raise your hands who considers themselves a GIS professional. Then there is a full-time developer. It means you know how to program, you know at least one programming language, and you like to start everything from scratch. And full-time developers in here, couple of you, and then there may maybe be a mix-up of these two cases, and there is a mix of both. You know a little about programming, you can copy some stuff, and overall you can figure it out. Next, why are you here? You are providing access to maps and data. You work with your own maps data. Also, you maybe create tools, solutions for another customers using their data, or maybe you provide some tools and solutions for your organization. What is AppStudio for ArcGIS? AppStudio is a low-code solution for creating native apps. Low-code solution is an industry term that you are not building your app from scratch. It gives you lots of templates, lots of stuff to start with. And also it runs native apps that can be used in app stores or any other places except web pages. Why native apps? Many customers want offline functionality, and AppStudio can provide this offline thing. Also, you may want to use device capabilities such as cameras, GPS, sensors. You want to pass some information between applications. Now, as I previously mentioned, everyone wants app stores. Everyone wants their apps on app stores, so you can share with them, everyone can use them, and it's a lot more easier. The challenge, it's complicated. There are lots of tools, you need to know how to program. Also, it's expensive. It's either your work, it's your job's work, or you need to outsource it somewhere. And also, it's time consuming to create and to support. And this is what you get with AppStudio. You get a cross-platform solution that can deploy apps to iOS, Android, Linux, Macintosh. Also, it's easy to develop. It uses simpler language, plus it gives you the power of native platforms. Also, it is at least 5 times easier to develop. It's basically you write once and deploy to 5 instances. How does it work? It works with a Qt. It's a programming language, not really language. It's a framework that is developed somewhere in 90s with C++, and then they developed then framework that can access some sensors, and that's basically it. Then on top of the Qt, there's a layer of QML, and on top of that comes ArcGIS SDK, and it is finished with AppStudio that uses all of this. And now it has come time to the demo, where I will show you how easy it is to develop some simple application. So for starters, you can get AppStudio from its download page. As you can see, last release was in April. And this is AppStudio. It's a simple desktop application. Can be used on many platforms. Some samples that are created by AppStudio, and you may know them, these are S3 support, ArcGIS Companion, Survey 123 also is created using AppStudio. quick capture, but what's important to develop and extend these last two mentioned applications, you need to have developer license and you need to fill some forms to gain access to those. First, we can sign in, we can use the ArcGIS Online or we can use our own portals. For now, I'm gonna use ArcGIS Online. And what do you get with AppStudio? There is this top panel. You can access console to debug your apps. You can launch virtual devices. In my case, it doesn't work since it's not my computer and I don't have some SDK pass. Then you have some simple preferences to choose from light to dark theme, gallery size. Also, you can choose what editor to use for coding. You can use this Qt Creator or Visual Studio Code. Then there's this refresh button to refresh the gallery. Help, it takes you to the ArcGIS help. Then you can get some basic information about AppStudio. And finally, here's access to community panel, and you can see the latest news about AppStudio. How can we create a new app? We simply choose this button, New App. And then we get lots of stuff. For example, these are starter applications that are completely blank. There's simple app, Hello World Qt, and Hello World Runtime. There are available 7 templates, from which one there's 3D scene viewer, and let's say the latest one added in 5.3 is the zone lookup. Also, AppStudio provides multiple layouts, so you don't have to code them from ground up. There are available more than 90 samples. Esri is continuing to add them, and there will be a lot more of them. There you can get some stuff like biometric authentication, some sensor access, and stuff like that. And then there is enterprise templates. As I previously mentioned, Survey 123 is for Survey 123, you need developer license also for quick capture. But then you have Esri Labs template, AppStudio Player template you can customize, and some more. Today we're going to choose one of the templates, Map Viewer template. I just choose it, click Create, and I have created my first native application. Then on the right side, you can see some options. There is a chance to open it in cloud, to generate applications QR code. You can change app settings, you can run it, you can edit it with using code. It will open anytime soon. Yes, here it is. Here is Qt Creator I'm using for now. Then is this really nice button, but it's also available only in AppStudio Developers Edition. It's called Make. Acer provides 2 options how to create native applications. One of them is Cloud Make, that ArcGIS creates installation files and just sends them to you. Also, what is really nice about it, they send additional information how to publish these apps to stores. That's basically takes, you make it, they send it to you. For Android store, it takes about the same day, and a little bit harder for iOS store because Apple has some other licensing issues. They need to review the app. And also you can make your apps locally, just you need SDKs and stuff. Then one of the last buttons is files. You can access the application assets. You can duplicate the app, or you can just delete it. And now we're gonna start this application by changing some settings. Here's what we can see. We can see some basic details about application. We can see the resources the app uses, some general properties. There are capabilities that application needs. Let's say we might need audio, camera and microphone access. Then there is devices you want to run this application. There is licensing info, platforms you want to run. For deployment, you need to provide package names and some other stuff. And then there's some advanced stuff for publishers, packagers, etc. First, what we're gonna do, I have prepared some files. I'm gonna put them in assets folder. I have choose the icon and background image as my assets. I just gonna simply copy them over here, and they are available for my app. Then we're gonna return to configuration. We will input some main information. I have some cheat sheets, so I don't need to write. We're gonna name our application Latvian Roads Demo Developer. Then we can give application some nice summary. And we have summary, basically that it shows information about road data of Latvia. And then we're gonna quote Cicerone for description. I would really suggest you write some meaningful subscription, but in my case, it's going to be Cicerone. Then you can add some tags, of course, but that's some access and use constraint, but that's up to you. What are we gonna do next? We're gonna click apply. Settings are applied. We can click the refresh. And now we can run our application, which we have already created, and it can be used. And we have our application. We have our application name, summary. Then we can click start. And we already can see map gallery. As you can see, there are web maps and offline maps available. What you see now is the latest maps available in ArcGIS Online. And also you can check the information about application, and here you can access the description. What we're gonna do next, we're gonna configure this app. Also add some little more details, like we can change thumbnail. We're gonna use the image I added. So we're gonna choose this road. It will ask you to replace it, we want it. And then we choose resources. Also, we will change icon to the same road icon. Then we can change background image. Background image, we're gonna choose this one. And then we can choose, that's not this place. We're gonna choose background image in here. Same image. Then we can brand our application using some color. I'm gonna use this one. Next, we can set some font size. We can change title fonts, basically every font. And what we want next, we're gonna click apply. Refresh, and now we can run again our application. Taking some time, and now you can see we have this background image, our brand color, and still we can start the application. But the thing is, we don't want to see some latest maps. We want to use our own maps. There is multiple ways how to provide maps for map viewer. You can use map item ID, you can use group ID, or you can use some tags. In my opinion, one of the greatest ways to use it is create a group in ArcGIS Online, and you can provide group ID, and this group can access to so many services as you want. So let's say you have published your application and you want to change one map service to another map service. You can simply restrict access to one service and give access to another service, and you don't need to republish this application in App Store. So we're gonna configure by group ID. Give this group. We need to provide URLs. Since I'm using organization account, I'm gonna use this one. And we can provide secured maps. For now, we're gonna skip it. We're gonna skip sign in. We're gonna support map editing. We're gonna show in gallery both maps, online and offline maps. Then we can sort them, and that's it. Then next we click apply, refresh. At some point there will be visible this icon as it's here. Sometimes it caches it somewhere and it's kind of won't work for a while. Now we have still the same screen, but now we can't see any maps. That might be the truth. That looks like I missed something. Oh yes, I copied the wrong information. Now if you add the correct URL, we can run the application again. Start it, and as you can see, there are two new map services available. LV Roads Red, you have to believe me, it's red, and LV Roads Green. We can open our map service and we get fully functional native application. We can take screenshot of it. We can use measure tools and all of that. Also, when I return to gallery, my red road map has functionality to download offline content. I'm not gonna do this at the moment. I just show you a while later that I've done this. Next, we're gonna add some secure content. Now we're gonna click support secured services. As you can see, I have secured yellow services as organization only. What we need to do is next we have go to licensing. Since we are using secured services, we need to generate client ID by clicking register, but it shows me I haven't uploaded my app. Before I do that, I need to upload it. I'm gonna show it with my organization, and I can upload it. I have 10 minutes more. Okay. Then, since I have uploaded it, it will allow me to generate client ID from licensing. I have generated ID, apply. Fresh, and we can run our application again. Now you have two options. You can skip sign in and sign in. Since I have new secure content, I'm gonna choose sign in. In this case is also my organization account. And now you can see there's this new icon, the roads yellow, using this passcode icon. I can open them. And now we're viewing the secure content. As you can see in the right corner, there is this licensing notice that is only licensed for developer use only. Using the unpaid version, you can use ArcGIS provided light license. All you have to do is just click set light license, apply. Let's just refresh this again. Now we can run application again. It already logged me in. Let's open the green map again. And as you can see, there is no licensing notification. Next thing I want to talk about is App Player that comes with ArcGIS AppStudio. I'm gonna just upload this application again, so it updates. It's done. Now I'm gonna switch to my tablet. Here, as you can see, there's icon for App Player. I can connect to my organization account, and we created this new application. I can simply check the info about it, and I can choose to download it. And I can open my own native application that is run in AppStudio Player. In this time, it's a really great way to share your applications between your organization because you can download it anywhere and just run your apps. I did not log in, so I can access the public apps, and as you can see, I have native application running on my laptop. Let's say I want to use location. I can just click for it, and it should take me to Estonia. Right here we are. Then I can just simply return to base view and see the map again. Next, I'm gonna quickly talk about extending these applications using code development. We're gonna take the same application, click edit. As you can see, we have just normal regular editor. You can change whatever you want. I'm just gonna go the lazy way. I'm gonna copy some imports. And then I'm gonna copy my text-to-speech functionality that I'm gonna use in my app. And then we're gonna add button that every mapping application needs. It's the I'm Batman button. So basically what I have done, I have declared text-to-speech parameter that I'm using in my button. I make it to say I'm Batman. Then there is Batman, I give it ID. its size, where it's located, background, foreground colors, text it shows. It uses this parameter qt string, qt to show text. Now, when I'm done with it, I can just simply save. I can just run it, or I can start it in debugging mode. It depends on what you're doing. Now everything works, and as you can see, I have a huge button in the middle of application that does the most important stuff.
I bet, yeah.
It works. And also, when it's done, I can just close it. I can choose upload the code. I managed to close my mirroring assistant. Can quickly connect back to it. Stream. Upload this one. Where is this? Update. That I have successfully updated it. Now I can simply update it on my tablet. I can open it, and we have the same button that does this. And the last but not least thing, since I mentioned that you need AppStudio Developer Edition to access some enterprise templates, there are some basic information. I believe it's since AppStudio 5.2, it requires you to have additional developer account that uses developer license, and you'll need to fill this form. There is some basic information, what templates, what enterprise templates you want to access, field app, connect, quick capture, and server 1, 2, 3, field app and connect. And then in a while, it took for me about 1 to 3 weeks when they added me in the ArcGIS Online group. And then I had access in AppStudio to these templates. And how this works is you gain access to these 3 templates, you just clone them, and you can modify it as you want. Let's say, as an example, they created for wildlife data collection from helicopter. They had some heavy modifications there where you sit in the helicopter, on each side there's the pilot, what you are collecting, what information. It's actually quite a nice sample, but it's not available somewhere where I can access it. So that concludes my presentation.